It was a typical Friday night. School had been pretty decent that week, and with my parents out of town for the evening, I thought it'd be fun to invite a few girlfriends over to spend the night. I am Laura, and as the captain of the cheerleading squad, I had a reputation for hosting lively gatherings. So I called 3 of my closest friends over. We were having our usual fun, being silly, gossiping, and dancing around the house until we got hungry and decided on pizza. Around 8 p.m., we put in our order, and soon enough, we were eagerly awaiting a pizza delivery said to be ready in 45 minutes. The doorbell rang, and promptly on time, in walked the pizza delivery guy. And I kind of knew him, but I didn't know him. He was a familiar face from school, a bit nerdy, and always on his own, but not a bad-looking guy. Last year, during our junior year of school, he was in 2 of my classes and had sat in the back. But tonight, he seemed oddly nervous. As he fumbled through the delivery, his eyes kept glancing coyly towards me. It made me uncomfortable, but I brushed it off, trying to be polite. However, one of my friends, always quick with her sharp tongue, rudely mocked him, saying he was being weird and telling him to hurry up and stop being so slow, causing him to practically drop the pizza as he hurried away, half stumbling down the steps upon his exit. Minutes turned into hours as we ate our pizza, laughed, and watched a movie. But strange noises began to interrupt our evening. At first, we dismissed them as the usual neighborhood sounds. But the sounds intensified until a creepy feeling crept in, seeping through the cracks of the night. Suddenly, there was an evil presence felt in the room. A dark voice spoke behind us. "No one will ever be mean to me again." It was the pizza delivery guy, inside of the house, his presence casting a chilling shadow over what was once our laughter. Hearing his voice, I could feel a sensation of pins and needles throughout my body. He muttered those haunting words again, as if to make his intent clear, "No one will ever be mean to me again." We screamed, fleeing from the room in terror, leaving our phones behind as he brandished a terrifyingly large pizza cutter. The fear gripped us as we all scattered, desperately seeking refuge. I could hear him yelling, searching for us, and then all of the lights went out and everything went dark. He was trying to terrorize us. He was playing a game. That pissed me off, replacing my horror with indignation. I thought, if he wants games, then let's play. In that harrowing moment, courage ignited within me. I crept to the front door, and with trembling hands, I grabbed one of my dad's golf clubs. I found him in the garage, standing near one of my friends, freakish pizza cutter in hand, screaming, "I'll cut your heart out!" I quietly attacked, swinging with precision. My weapon hit hard, connecting with a deafening thud against the sicko's head. Down he went. The relief was fleeting as he continued his threats, his eyes burning with a twisted rage. I hit him with directed force once more, that time in his stomach. In a panic, we ran back to the living room where our phones were and yelled through the house for the other girls to meet us there. With trembling fingers, I dialed 911, the dispatcher's voice a beacon of hope. As we huddled together by the front door, praying for rescue, every minute felt like an eternity. The police arrived, their presence a comforting sight. They swiftly apprehended our intruder, but the chill of his parting words stayed in the air. As they led him away, he paused at the threshold, his gaze locking onto mine, a haunting promise escaping his lips. Until the next delivery. And he was shoved out of the door into the unforgiving night. As I stood there, shaken to my core, I realized how fragile our sense of safety truly is in this world. It taught me a sobering lesson about empathy and kindness, showing me how a moment of rudeness could escalate into something unimaginable. I shared the same sentiments with my friends. It was a lesson for all of us. That night, I vowed to always be mindful of how my words and actions might affect others, knowing that sometimes a single act of cruelty could unlock the darkest of horrors. The fear lingered, not just for what happened, but also for the realization that the shadows could be closer than we ever dared to believe. Being a delivery driver for Marco's Pizza often meant uneventful nights, but one particular delivery shifted that routine entirely. It was a typical evening in rural Georgia, and as my shift neared its end, a delivery request led me down a long, secluded driveway nestled amidst the woods. An eerie feeling crept over me, an oddity in an otherwise mundane night. Arriving at the house, a middle-aged woman with a tan robe on emerged from behind, calling out that they were in the garage. It struck me as peculiar, but I obliged, cautiously approaching the garage entrance. The garage, dimly lit by a single overhead bulb, exuded a suffocating atmosphere. Dusty shelves cluttered with tools lined the walls, alongside an assortment of hunting gear and rustic memorabilia. The air hung heavy with the scent of oil, cigarettes, and aged wood, a contrast to the crispness of the night outside. Inside, two older men lounged in well-worn recliners, clad head to toe in camo attire, their faces straight and gazes darkly fixated on me. The room, filled with smoke, felt small and claustrophobic. The only real decoration in the space being a profusion of rebel flags, a testament to a different era, made my heart race even faster. Mounted deer heads adorned the walls, their glassy eyes seeming to follow my every move. Yet, the most disconcerting sight was the prominent presidential poster of a tycoon, turned reality TV star, turned former president, casting a stark political hue over the scene. As a delivery girl, I often encountered varying degrees of discomfort during deliveries. But this time, the discomfort peaked when the men, with me being Mexican-American, addressed me with undue familiarity, adding to the unnerving ambiance. Their insistence on having me step inside their garage only amplified my nervousness. Politely declining, I stood my ground, citing company policy against entering customers' homes or garages. The tension in the air was palpable, intensifying as I handed them the pizza and stated the total. With quick exactness, I completed the transaction, hoping for a swift end to the unsettling encounter. As I made my exit, the feeling of relief was overwhelming. Stepping out into the cool night air, I breathed deeply, the weight of that garage lifted from my shoulders. But the memory of that distressing atmosphere, with its cluttered shelves, alarming decorations, so unabashed, lingered, casting a creepy shadow over my usual deliveries. The encounter left an unsettling mark, remaining in my thoughts whenever I passed anywhere near that road. I kept thinking about the unnerving atmosphere, despairing decorations, and discomforting insistence, making it the scariest night I'd ever experienced, delivering or otherwise. It was the constant reminder of those disturbing moments that, in an otherwise routine job, could cause me to feel so threatened and unsure that even the memories alone caused the hair on my arms to raise and chills to run down my back. Moving forward, whenever I happened upon a random, long, dark driveway, the image of that secluded driveway the night of the terrifying delivery flooded my mind, stirring dismay within me. It was a night that straggled, a sharp reminder of how vulnerable one could feel in certain situations. The recollection of that delivery, with its discomforting environment, the cloying smells and unusual brazen requests, remained etched in my mind, a chilling nudge of the anxiety I had felt that night.